Does Bryce Young suck? What is his ceiling?
I'm sticking with it. I'm putting myself on jackass watch with this one. But I'm not
Jackass watch.
The Bears done it to me for like 3 seasons in a row. Fuck it, might as well. What's the risk at this point? I'm sticking with Bryce. I'm sticking with him in the sense of here's exactly where I'm comparing him to at this point. There's no doubt. I'm sticking with it. Please, Bryce. Don't let me down. Jokes aside, I do think he's very similarly, kind of like came out into a situation very much like Tua. Like, I don't think Frank Reich is the guy. I don't think that anything about the team is going to be, that is the way it is now, has any contingency on how it's going to look down the road in a few years. I don't think there's any type of, the team, like, it's like a big illusion right now. Like, Bryce is just caught in the middle of a big fucking hurricane, right? Like, it's like he got washed in and the staff is not going to be there. The owner has no clue what's going on himself. Like, the direction of the team has been a mess.
Passing up, that passing up Brian Burns to first.
I was just going to get back to that.
Biting them in the ass so much.
It's like, but that's what I was going to go back to. It's like, what's the plan in the future with the young guys you already have? And that's why I say back to the Tua thing. I think you put is it going to go the same way? I can't guarantee that they're going to be a fucking Mike McDaniel to come save the day. But you get a new coach in place. You get that man a good receiving core, a competent O-line. The O-line around him is terrible right now. He's getting hit constantly. Yes, let me be clear. He makes terrible mistakes and decisions in game, though. But back to like how Tua was, I think it goes back to the whole like when you're not comfortable to begin with and you never were comfortable, like you're going to play like shit. No matter how good you were coming out or who you are coming out. When you're thrown into an absolute garbage situation like that, and let me be clear, Bryce doesn't have the element that the other guys have. Yeah, if you're 6'5", 6'4", it'll look different because you can at least still. Bryce, it's like he really is relying on them to surround. He's different. Like with Bryce, you need them to actually give you what you need, or else you're screwed. He's not. You can make it work when you're different breed athletically, but it's like Bryce is what he is.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think also like the main thing is like you can say this about any player. Like Bryce is not situation proof, especially with his physical limitations. So when you don't have a true wide receiver one. And your defense is injured beyond all belief and you cannot get the ball back in your hands, those bad habits formed and bad environment that you're living in every day, I feel like is going to hamper him later in his career. And which is sad. I mean, you see this a lot of quarterbacks, and I'm willing to say, and we've talked about this, more of these guys bust from coaching and situation than actual talent.
Oh, for sure. And again, though, like I say, if someone's really, really the guy, like they're going to shine through regardless. Right?
Yeah.
Like and that's the thing. They're going to, but with Bryce, I'll use Bryce as an example. If Bryce was showing consistent, humongo flashes, like, whoa, like that was a crazy window. He just fit that in on a laser rope before he made that dumb mistake, right? Like, it's like, it'd be like, you could give it a little more before you take, but it's like when you're playing like shit way more than you're showing the flashes on top of the bad situation, that's where the questions come from. Right now, it's like we got to ask.
Well, Bryce Young had a bad day, which means the Colts defense had a good day. A very good day. Kenny Moore, 2 pick sixes, 4 total sacks. Is this like a unit that next year could be actually very, very scary?
I won't say like very, very scary yet. But again, when you combine it with, obviously the ideal goal of Shane Steichen is going to be running it how they did with Jalen. So let's just run this ball, get A-Rich to have an option, get him like 14, 15 carries a game, and just chew the clock. I mean, as much as you can while still producing on offense. When you combine that on top of it, they could have like a top 15, top 12 next year. That's what I say. I'm not ready to say like elite, but I'll say like getting into the above the rest of the pack territory. They're still young. They still got to grow.
Well, they're going to have to kind of overperform this year because the offense is functional, but I mean, you're not really getting much out of Minshew and the running backs, and especially with the receiving core being injured now.
The Colts are very much in that same territory as only a few teams, but it's like you really don't know how you feel about them. Like It's like I really just actually don't know. Like it's like I really would love A-Rich to come back, be healthy. Then I'm all in like I was. But now, where the narrative is until he'll prove it to not be, that it's like, man, how long can A-Rich stay out there?
Yeah.
So that's the question at this point. If he comes back, that's not the question at all. Then again, we're all back in. Gotta love it. Right now, I don't know how to feel about the Colts with that contingency in place.